are back live from ISTE 2015. We are having a great time. We've had Angela Myers on, we've had Chris Sarance on, we've had Susan Bearden on, we've had Walker make an appearance, and now I want to introduce people who have been on the show before and people who are amazing administrators coming out here. I want to bring on Mr. Jay Eitner and Mr. Greg Goins. How are you two?
We're superintendents. We're great.
And Jay, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're having a busy summer, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a crazy summer, Jeff. First and foremost, ISTE, holy cow.
Yeah.
I can't even begin to tell you how exciting, crazy. Literally was in overload yesterday, like had to take my own time out.
First time?
It's first time, so it was like so much going on. I didn't even know how to start, where to start, what to do. I literally had to get up and walk around so I could absorb and compress everything that's going on here.
Now, I'm curious, and I'll ask Greg this too, but you're from around here. So knowing this city, is that making this easier on you?
14 miles, according to the GPS today, which is kind of nice, so I could go home, see the kids. Life's good, you know? I can't complain, but you would think, you know, just kind of knowing the city a little bit, life would be a lot easier, but this convention center is massive.
This is massive, and this is the first time I've been in the convention center where nobody was dressed as Princess Leia.
Okay, well, that's probably a good thing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's only the first day, right?
Okay, well, that's true.
And Waka is over there.
All right, well, I mean, there is opportunity, I suppose, right?
Greg, I want to bring you in. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. I love the show. I've been watching this morning, doing great things again.
What do you think of this first day here?
You know, this is my 5th ISTE conference, and
Wow.
I'm blown away each time I come at just the enormity of the whole thing. I think I walked for, it felt like an hour from my hotel room, and I'm here on site just to get to the poster sessions this morning. I mean, it was a pretty good haul, but, you know, everywhere you go, there's great enthusiasm, and you see so many like-minded people wanted to share, so it's just a great experience. I love it here. Highlight of my summer.
But isn't that cool, though, how, like, you know, you and I can just walk down the hallway and then just strike up a conversation or see, like, you know, a poster of activities of something going on, or you see people, like, you literally see people everywhere. I'm going to stop saying literally after this, but you see people everywhere just sitting down, having conversations, and, like, making things happen, and it's awesome when you have so many people who think alike in one spot, and you know, you could just grow. It's really cool.
We always talk about, you know, how important it is to be a connected educator. And you get here and you see something like this, and you see Jeff live, you know, with the broadcast, and everyone just so enthusiastic and so excited about new things they can learn and take back to their actual schools. It's just a phenomenal experience.
Well, let me throw that one at you here. You're coming at this from a completely different point of view than many people. You're coming at it from, what was your phrase, Jay? The top of the mountain?
Top of the mountain.
Now, how...
One-man island.
How
There
does
goes Tom Whitby?
How is that different than being a teacher? I mean, are you coming here to look at people preaching? Are you coming here to talk to vendors? What is the game plan for a superintendent at a mega conference?
You know, I'm here to spread the gospel. I mean, I'm all in with the Connected Educator, and you know, I'm here today because of, you know, my PLN and meeting you through Twitter, and all the connections that I've made over the last few years has made me a better superintendent. And I'm here looking for new, innovative ideas, and just to, you know, be a resource for people that want to talk. I have several teachers from my district that are here, and we're just taking this time to share ideas and think about how we can make our school better. And I know Jay's here to do the exact same thing.
It's really important, as my colleague said here, that, you know, you actually have the opportunity to meet to have that personal connection, you know, to see somebody that you've been tweeting with for months or years at this point, to see them in person, you go, wow, look at this, I can't even believe, like, this is happening right now. And it's a little bit of everything. I mean, some of it's a little bit of vendors, you know, you see some people that you've worked with before, or you hear about something, or you want to see something different. I mean, this is the place, if you're looking for educational technology, if you're looking for an enhancement or some type of tool to get you from point A to point B, this is packed.
Can you do something like this in your school districts? Can you create this much excitement for learning and knowledge and PD in a school district?
I think so. I think, you know, if you really have the dedication, and what's cool about this is that, you know, superintendents that are dedicated, we start from top up, and we really kind of spread that word down. You know, to quote your phrase, Dr. Goins, it's spreading the gospel. So you're really trying to, you know, invigorate and passion. You know, I'm sure, you know, Dr. Goins shares the same thing as I do, but there's 3 things I do as a superintendent. I hire the best, I get what you need, and I get the hell out of your way. And once you have that logic in place, and once you have people that actually have the tools that they need, they have the PD that they actually want and need, okay, not the same session 16 different times, but actually identify what is needed versus what you're getting over and over again, the passion spreads very quickly.
It seems like when you come to ISTE year after year, there are trends that are happening. And I see a trend happening over here. We've got a group selfie stick happening.
Ugh.
There's a lot of trends. And one of the things that I'm seeing over here is this concept of leading by example. And I want to ask you guys, is it possible to superintendent like a pirate?
I think so. I think you have to put yourself out there, and you have to be willing to take a risk, and to let the people in your district know that it's okay to take a chance, and you may fail once in a while, but through failure we all improve and get better, and it makes us better professionals, and it creates better schools. So just to give people the opportunity to take those risks and take a chance and learn something new. I tell my people all the time, let's do something new this week. I'm not too concerned about what it is, as long as it's good for kids, but try something new in your classroom and let's just see what happens.
Mm-hmm. If the superintendent isn't walking the walk and talking the talk, it's all for naught.
Well, you've started doing that where you are, and I noticed there's a map of New Jersey, and where you are at Lower Alloways, there's this thing called Future Ready happening.
Yep.
What is that?
So Future Ready is a nationwide incentive to get everybody kind of on the same page in terms of how we are, not only using technology to connect with one another, but basically using technology as the current vehicle, if you will. So, technology right now is iPhone and iThis and iWhatever. 75 years ago, technology was the pen. 100 years ago, perhaps it was the paper, but now, we're all in that point where we can share instantaneously and we don't have to be on the island. And we could all actually get together, collaborate effectively, and, get to the end game together. I mean, that's really important in today's society. We have to do that. And Soledad O'Brien hit the nail on the head last night. She said, education is the next civil rights movement. And we're here and we're ready and let's do it.
What is the end game? I mean, we're talking students here. What is there an end game, or are we constantly, learning? Like, what do you mean by that, Jay?
The end game, my philosophy as an educator and whatever hat I've worn over the years is simple. By the time you leave high school, I want you with a good head on your shoulders. I want you to know the difference between right and wrong. I want you to be able to be a productive member of society, no matter what that is. If you go to college or go to the workforce or go serve our country, whatever it is, and I want you to learn a thing or two. Because regardless of what you do in life, you still need to have a certain skill set to function. And if you don't have that, we failed.
And is that skill set different in South Jersey than it is where you are?
No, I think it's very similar. It's the same type of situation for us. I had the chance to attend a Future Ready Summit in St. Louis in the spring, and Eric Schenniger was the keynote. Had a chance to meet face-to-face with people like Tom Murray and Joe Sanfilippo, who is doing great things in Wisconsin. One of my principals, Charlie Cass, was with me, and we just spent the day talking about how we can create a better learning environment for kids. And I'm of the belief that kids want and deserve a much better school experience today than ever before, and we have to get leaders and teachers to make that shift and to start thinking about how to offer different opportunities in different ways.
What is that shift again?
I think that, we're talking about connected educators. We have to have connected classrooms. And we have to get away from this model of sit and get and lecture and what I call the cemetery rows in the classrooms, and create, learning spaces that are more conducive to a 21st century world.
Well, speaking of that 21st century world, we are live here from the Bloggers Cafe, and we have a very busy audience. We got about 100 people here right now, all in our chat from anywhere from, I saw Saudi Arabia.
How about it?
I saw Melbourne. I saw a lot of different places here, and we have some questions coming in. One of the questions, Christine says, what happens as a superintendent? What happens if you have a principal that doesn't have your philosophies about being connected? How do you rub, nudge, tweak? How can you spread your thoughts about being a connected learner into a staff philosophy?
I think one of the most important things that you have to do, and again, it kind of circles back to that leading by example, but and showing, the premise that it's okay to fail. I fail every day. You could ask anybody where I work. You could ask my other half, for sure. You could ask Jeff. I mean, we all make mistakes, but it's okay to make mistakes. And if you're out there, again, walking the walk and talking the talk, and if you're out there saying, you know what, I'm not really comfortable with this, but I'm going to let you do it anyway because this is what you believe in and this is what you think is the best thing that could happen, do it. You have to give that okay, These are okay now. For years, everybody said, social media, bad, no good, no good. That wave has passed. And now you find yourself people either riding the wave of social media or you find yourself trying to swim up to the wave of social media. And then you find those that are still sitting on the beach because they just are afraid. Once people see that using things like social media and this 21st century technology is okay, people start to let their guard down. So hopefully I answered the question.
Well, let me talk about that letting the guard down here. Quite often at times when you're talking to, when you're in an interview, people ask the question, define a good leader, or what makes a good leader? Should a leader these days be somebody who's out on social media? Should a leader these days be somebody that you have no problem going up and joking around with? Should a leader be, hammer, 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 and my rule goes? What, in your mind, Dr. Goins, makes an effective leader?
Well, first, I think you have to be a great communicator. And I think you have to have a shared vision with people, not only in your school district, but in your community. And it's okay to be vulnerable. I mean, I don't have all the answers. And if, I don't have an answer, we're going to work together to find a solution. So, yeah, I mean, Jay and I are normal guys, just like anybody else. Come up and say hi.
Right.
And, tweet it out, and we'll be glad to connect. But, we're stronger together. And I'm a big believer that, school leaders, it can be lonely at times. But I think also now that we're more connected through social media and other technology avenues, I think it makes all of us better. And, it's a very exciting time to be a part of public education right now.
Absolutely. And Dr. Goins really hit the nail on the head. It's okay not to know everything. And I'm not going to try to know everything because I don't. But thanks to social media, I'm surrounded by thousands of people that often are a lot smarter than I am that can contribute and help me get from point A to point B.
Talk to me about the relationship that you guys have with your staff. Is it boss under people? Is it a friendly relationship? What kind of a relationship should a superintendent or upper administrator have with those underneath of them?
Well, I think there's two parts of that. I think, if you're in a leadership position, the buck stops with you. So, you have to play that role. And at times it's not always fun to be the manager of a school district. But I think more in terms of leadership and in terms of getting out, making connections, trying to communicate as much as I can with folks in my district. I have a wonderful administrative team. I have 7 principals in my district, and we meet on a regular basis. And, we just try to spread the good news as much as we can and really have a positive experience for our faculty and staff and our kids in our community.
A couple of questions here coming up here. Let me throw this one to Greg first. How would you discipline your staff if one day you sat down in your office chair and an air horn went off?
How would I discipline staff?
I'm sorry, Jay, let me ask you that question first.
Well, it may have happened before.
I cannot relate, Jeff.
But thankfully, it was a student, and it just so happened that on the last day of school, said student got soaked by about 16 water balloons and a hose. Just saying. But I did actually call Mom and got permission to do so. So, because we've been going back and forth apparently all year. So, the air horn was pretty good, though. It was pretty good.
Good times in New Jersey.
Yeah. She right in April Fool's Day. She collaborated actually.
All right.
She collaborated with the head of Building and Grounds, who successfully spray painted said air horn. And when I sat down on my chair, it's pretty good.
Now, let me ask you this.
There was video.
Oh, there was.
Oh, yeah. that's
if
circulating.
Jeff worked in your school district, how do you think that relationship would develop?
I think that'd be a great relationship.
It would be a very interesting relationship.
That would be a relationship that would get him into the White House, I believe.
Yeah, it would be filled with lots of discussion. Lots of discussion.
Absolutely, lots of discussion. We are here live at the Bloggers Cafe. Guys, any words of advice as we move forward here? I want to give you guys plenty of time to check out all the great things that are going on here. Any words of advice, and just we can sign off here, and where do we get a hold of you guys?
You can find me on Twitter at WFSuper, and I also have a website, drgreggoins.com. Trying to stay connected. I'm welcome to any new ideas and how to make our schools better. And I hope to present as much as I can, both locally and at the state level in Illinois next year on digital leadership. So, again, I'm all in, and I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Nice.
It's awesome. I'm also I'm online as well. You can find me on Twitter at iSuperEite, E-I-T. And I do have a website, www.eitner.com, and I like to stay connected. And the biggest piece of advice is just, we're normal people. I'm glad you said that. We put our pants on the same way everybody else does, and it's okay. Talk to us. We're all in the same game. So let's all work together and get it done.
We'll be back live from ISTE 2015. More from TeacherCast Live.